Start recording.
And go.
Starting the broadcast. This time we're not going to say things like, let's start recording like we do every episode. We're going to say things like, we're watching this commercial about insurance, because we know that if you're watching the show after it's live, it's no longer matters because it's not happening in real time. Welcome to Shan Hannigan's Live.
Hey guys.
Shaggy Shan here.
Katie here.
Shy over there.
Yep.
Today's an extra special episode because we got an inking demo coming up.
Yep, I'm inking a commission for the Indiegogo crew, so I'm going to be cutting to that every once in a while.
We'll actually take a look at that right now. And
well, right now it's just
yeah,
you can't really see it. There's the faint sketch, but once I start going in with the inks, you'll be able to see it a lot nicer. I'm going to actually do stuff with my brush today instead of the usual pens. I'll do a little bit of pen work, but I haven't cracked these out for a while just because I've been so busy with the storyboards. It'll be nice to do a bit of analog work instead of digital work tonight. Yeah. So... Sorry,
I'm just messing around. Even though I swore I wasn't going to be messing around with stuff this time, I'm still going to be messing around with stuff.
Alright.
I guess just opening remarks. Yes, we are using Cam Twist like every week. It's a free software that you too can use if you want to do live streaming. It allows you to do fancy things like dun, 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 fade, fade, and more. Because what we can also do is we can bring up the Twitter.
Yes.
Katie Shy's Twitter. If you want to add some questions, comments, be sure to write to @KatieShy, and then we can bring up your question right then and there, and then we can remove it like so, and no one needs to know.
Yeah, whatever you got in your mind about the show, about our new comic coming out, Silly Kingdom, which is out now. Yeah,
it's very much out.
It's super out.
It's
in fact,
online.
We're almost run out of books.
Yeah.
After only a couple weeks, which is amazing.
I could bring up the site just to show that I'm fancy.
Sure, yeah.
You keep talking. I'll bring up a site.
Okay. As soon as you type.
Silly
yeah. So.
Kingdom dash comics. Enter.
You should find it. Not the band, by the way, because I did find there was a Silly
Not
Kingdom
the Swedish band.
Yeah, you found it too.
Yeah, I was actually checking out their site. I didn't listen to their music yet though.
Yeah, maybe we should get them to ask them to make a trailer commercial for us. You got it?
And yes. Ha! Ha!
Okay.
Alright, there's the website.
Yep. As you can see, we've got some preview pages available for people who don't know what the comic is about. So if you just go into the About tab, you'll be able to read the first 5 pages of the comic.
Yeah, right up there.
Yes. Yeah.
About here. And you'll notice the side, there's a lovely 2 buttons over here, which take you right over to the store. Digital copy of the comic comes $4, PDF file. There's also the physical print, but do we say... are we...
We'll probably be sold out really soon, so if you want a copy, I'd say get on it now. There's a giant fly on the screen.
There is a giant fly on our screen.
Oh, it's gonna walk across the camera! We're gonna freak everyone out.
It's just walking
huge.
around. Go away, fly. Alright.
It's after my baguette.
So once again, we have the Twitter open. Your questions, comments, throw them up at KatieShy.com. But for now, what are we doing?
Right now, I'm going to be inking a commission for Ashley Fair of her dog. Her commission request was she wanted her dog cartoonified, so I drew it out already.
Do we have a picture of the dog? Are we allowed to show that?
Yeah, I would have probably gotten that.
We don't have a printout, do we?
You know what?
I have to go on the website again.
No. If you go into commissions, the commissions folder, 2011.
Alright, commissions. Okay. So we'll let you see the before dog and after
and then
dog.
Go into Indiegogo commissions.
Yep.
Okay, go into Ashley, and then there should be Yumi ref.
This? No.
Yeah,
this?
that's
this?
Well, that's the... Yeah.
Ha! Alright, I got a dog coming up in 3, 2, 1. Ha! No?
No?
One of these days I'm gonna get it right. I don't think I can show it in preview mode. Oh my gosh! Katie, keep talking. You can
open it in Photoshop.
I will open dog photo.
Yeah, so I think what's going to be the setup for the next couple shows at least is going to be commission work, because I have a lot to draw through from a lot of amazing people that donated to get our project going.
How did I get to where I am?
Okay. There
we go.
Just open it in Photoshop.
Dog.
Okay, yeah, this is Yumi. I'm gonna cartoonify Yumi. So this is gonna be tricky because he's all black, and I gotta figure out a way to either just paint with white line to leave line out, or to try and throw in sketchiness. We're gonna find out. So it's gonna be a bit of an experiment on this end.
Right. So let's cut back to Yink. So where do we begin? Did we already sketch the dog?
Yeah, the dog's sketched and you can't really see him, but it was done digitally.
Let's take a look. See.
The way I tend to work is I sketch digitally on the Cintiq. You can't see it really. I make it really light and then.
Well, I thought it was behind the paper. I thought there's 2 layers.
Oh no. Yeah, it's there. Usually I do my whole. I make it red and then hide the red channel, but for this one I'm just doing it light. So I'm gonna start with the face. I'm gonna use micron pens because I'm still not really super confident with the brush yet to go in and be able to do proper eyes and things without messing it up. So
Helen writes in, you're both wearing red.
Yeah.
You're both matching today. You're both wearing red.
Well.
Well,
we
how
are.
about that?
Yeah, actually you're wearing a Scott C shirt.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the millions of ninjas.
The ninja shirt, yes. And the dragon's having tea.
Scott is delightful. Scott also has a live show.
Does he?
Yes.
What's his live show?
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it's amazing because he's an amazing dude.
All right, so where to begin? Because we're trying to figure out, is it better to talk while Kay draws, or should we just be quiet and watch carefully?
No, I can talk.
So we don't distract her from the creative process.
It's
the
fine.
proceeds, if you
All they're
will.
looking at is a tiny little nose. Oh, speaking of that, have you seen that weird thing that's been going around on Tumblr with people drawing Ninja Turtles on celebrities' noses?
I could. You're referencing all these things that mean I have to go and show you.
Yeah, but you're the showman.
Before we do that, though, we got 3D Matt right in. Unfortunately, there's another tweet after your tweet, so I can't bring that one up. I'm sorry. I'm only such a strong man. But it says, Katie, could you describe some of the main characters from Silly Kingdom for the listeners? Well, I guess it's to both of us, but it's at Katie.
Well, I will ask Steven, because he's the writer. Or Shaggy. He's the writer.
How's it going?
I'm the only one that calls him Steven.
I guess it comes down to, like, it's not spoiler if it describes them if you haven't read it yet, is it?
Well, I mean, don't say what they do in the story. Just say who they are.
Describe some of the main characters. Do you want their looks? Because you can open the comic to find that out. I guess their personalities. Okay. There is the princess, and she is sweet as a button, I suppose. She's kind of I don't know if you want to say impulsive, but she has no... if you notice throughout the comic, she just kind of slams doors open a lot. She really has no concept of subtlety.
She just barges in on people.
Yeah. So
that's what I like about her, because she's really sweet and gentle.
She's a really nice character, but she's also just very impulsive in a way where she'll just run to do things. Like I'm excited for a lot more of like the adventure style stories to come up. When we get the characters out of the kingdom to do some shenanigans.
To explore her a little bit more.
You know, so like for now, yeah, you don't get we get kind of a equal amount of most of the main characters. Millsley kind of shows up right at the end, so you don't get too much of her, but we'll see more of her later.
Yeah.
You have the prince, who I always describe him as being power hungry. He's a comparable leader though. I didn't want him to be incomparable. Is that the word?
Well, we didn't want him to be like a bad dude or like a bad prince or anything.
Like
so
he's a little self-centered.
He's super self-centered.
He's self-important, like anything he has to do. But at the same time, as you're going to notice, he always wants to be involved, even if he denies it. So he has no interest in this wizard having a birthday party. But as soon as he's told he can do something, he's going to like take over somehow.
Yeah.
Once again, we don't show too much of him being very like maniacal. Beyond the scene with the father, but we'll see more of that later too. We have our jester Marcus, who
I like Marcus.
Originally written to be like one of the more intelligent characters, but I think we toned it down a little.
He's like the comic though, or like the comedian, or like the jester, where it's like he knows what's going on, but he jokes about it. But like
he's like the straight man jester.
Yeah.
Where he's just he'll be aware.
He's not that funny.
Yeah, he's not that funny, is he?
Chuckles.
In fact, maybe he's just more of a foil in a way to an unintentional foil to Alan.
He's like the straight man, I guess, to everybody else.
Yeah, in a way. Funny that. How'd that work out?
Being,
the
for being the comedian character.
Aren't we original?
You didn't intend that. It just kind of happened, right?
Well, no, I never wrote him to tell jokes. He was just kind of this nice guy who wore costumes.
Maybe says nuncle.
And then we also have Alan Rickshaw, of course, who's just a jerk. He's an old wizard. He's 211 years old.
But that doesn't mean he has to be a jerk.
But he is,
has
though.
Nothing to do with
Funny that.
Yeah. He's just a crotchety dude.
All right, let's take a look. We got some more tweets coming up here. We got from Midness, or Sandy. Are you going to do all the commissions live?
Yes.
So we have a good 100 episodes ahead of us.
Yes. They might not all be Shanahannigan's live episodes. They might just be throughout the week once I finish my storyboard. Me just throwing on the Ustream and putting on some music and drawing. So I will announce those as I do them, but I would like to keep them alive just so everybody can see their commission work in progress.
Zach says, good lucks.
Thank you, Zach.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, and I could also actually post. I can only post the most recent tweet. So if you're most recent, you get this treatment. Helen writes in, who is your favorite Silly Kingdom character?
Mine is the wizard, Alan Grimrickshaw. Because he is fun to draw, and yeah, he's kind of a, yeah. I don't draw too many jerky characters. So
you draw all these, like, nice. Let's show some of what Kay's doing while we're talking.
Yeah, I'm just, where are we? Can you
favorite
see
character?
Okay,
for me, it kind of comes down to, on the writing side of it. I guess, looking ahead, of the characters you know, I really do enjoy writing for the Prince. Because he's going to be, as I say before, he wants to be involved in every little thing, even though he'll act that he doesn't want any part in it, because it's all beneath him. But any chance to be given leadership, he'll grab it. Because it'll be a struggle throughout the series where he just never is officially given power. In the backstory, historically, the princes and the kings have always had great conflicts, always stepping on fingers and clawing at heels, or what's the term, or something. Very, very office dynamic. And Alan, being 211, has seen this for years, so he has no part in it. We got a lot more tweets. We got 2 coming in, so I'll post up the next one. But we have, I am Dan Williams.
Hey,
Dan.
We
just shipped to Dan, didn't we?
We just shipped, yes.
We just shipped to Dan.
It should be chugging away across the ocean right now.
Nice and dandily, making its way.
Nice little tugboat.
Here's the question. How do you ship by ground across multiple continents?
They take a truck, and they drive the truck onto a boat.
Oh, okay.
The boat takes a month to get there.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Woot! Finally seeing you live. Random question. Favorite film, book, TV, series that is awful, but you love it anyway?
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, wait. I got lots of those.
Alright, if we had to say each of them, if I had to say film, I host a thing called Horrible Movie Night once in a while.
There's one this Friday.
There's a big horrible movie night that the way it works is everyone brings their own horrible movies and they present them to the whole crowd and we vote. I have no part in it. I let the audience decide.
Basically, everybody has to pitch their horrible movie.
And
so whoever has the best pitch
We've seen a bunch of the old Peter Jackson violent films like Dead Alive.
But
they're terrible, but they're amazing. There's Dead Alive. There was Bad Taste. Then we watched a bunch of like Japanese violent fight. Like Riki-Oh was amazing.
We saw Tokyo
Dude
Gore
punches
Police.
Holes. We watched Tokyo Gore Police.
Horrific.
But on the side, to make up for the fact that I never bring my own movie for these events, I host my own horrible movie nights, where I just present something I haven't seen for a while. And we had a good run of video game movies. We saw the Tekken film, The King of Fighters, which was shot in Toronto, Dead and Alive, and those are all horrible. But my favorite one, just for watching the crowd, is called Sunday School Musical, and take the premise of High School Musical and apply it to a Catholic school, I guess. And it's one of the funniest movies I've watched in the crowd. Because it's clearly shot on a weekend at a school because they didn't want to section off areas and
so they pretend there's crowds always off.
So there's always like one kid at a locker and that's the most people you ever see. I swear in the cast in the classroom just to fill it out they just like brought in anyone who was on set because I swear there's like this 30-year-old guy in the back of the class which is really creepy.
All right.
So check out Sunday School Musical. That's my favorite horrible film. Katie, favorite horrible film?
My favorite horrible film. Oh gosh, I probably should have been thinking about it while you were talking.
Clogging your brain.
Well, I liked Avatar, and you didn't like Avatar.
Oh, you mean the actual Avatar?
Yeah.
Because we both didn't like the Avatar movie.
Oh, Avatar Last Bender?
Avatar.
Well, that was funny. Well, you guys were in the front row just cracking up.
No, yeah, Avatar, the Last Airbender film was pretty hilarious, but it's not my favorite horrible movie.
I'll let you talk about it. You want your favorite book?
Well, also book. Oh, Twilight.
Yeah, actually, if you haven't listened to it yet,
I don't have time.
he does an audio recording of Twilight.
If you haven't yet, check out Shaggy Reads Twilight.
It's really entertaining.
Uberfriendship.com.
Whether you're a fan or whether you can't stand the book, it's very entertaining.
You check that out. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite though, because it hurts. That book hurts me sometimes. I am glad people enjoy it. Go nuts. Be it Twihard or whatever they call you, but man, some chapters hurt.
I'm trying to think of all my guilty pleasures because I know I wrote it down.
Favorite worst TV show? I don't know, because the difference between a TV and a movie, if you had an awful movie, you can enjoy it for a day. An awful TV show, you're holding the pain for 52 plus episodes, depending how long. Yeah. Lost is my favorite horrible TV show.
Yeah, towards the end, I just. It was like you invested, so you just had to keep watching.
Yeah, it was kind of like you had to, and then it's like, wine that gives life, and you're like, forget it. And
yeah, and
but that being said, I really enjoyed I think it was season 4 when they introduced a whole new cast, like Miles and Lapidus and stuff. Like, sometimes when they bring in a boatload of new characters, you get worried, but I really enjoyed them all. The guy was like, we gotta go back in time. It's like a record. I liked him. And then the lady who, was she Australian? I don't know, but she got knifed. No.
You spoiled it!
No, well, everyone gets knifed in that film.
Yeah,
I guess you got nothing, because there's more questions coming. We gotta keep
moving on. Sorry,
Creepy Porpoise says, you told me to ask again this week, so yams.
Oh, no, we had turnips.
Sorry.
Yeah, no yams.
We didn't yam it up. We didn't get yammed.
Referring to Thanksgiving dinner.
Referring to Shenanigans Live episode 2? Yes. Maybe 3? Sorry.
No yams.
We got Joshua Scottwood, or Josh exclamation mark. We'll get to see more of Millsley in future books. Yes, you will. Let's just cut back to Katie, because I haven't done that in a while. Katie Cam. Yoink. Millsley, yes. She...
Can we zoom in on this?
No.
Really? I'm gonna try and get this camera a little bit closer while...
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna switch other camera.
Okay, and I'm gonna look at the other screen.
Regarding Millsley, yeah, she will show up. She'll probably have more of an important role now than she did originally. Because originally, I keep referring back to the radio play, but I gotta admit there's only one that was ever really made, but there was a lot of stories written. She only kind of showed up once in a while, but I think we're gonna have her just loafing about more. I think I'm good. Because there's also like a disproportion of male to female characters at this point, so we've also got to throw Mills in.
I find whenever I work on stories with this guy, it's mostly dudes.
Which is weird, because a lot of my main characters are females, and I don't know how that works out. Yeah. Only in the flight books.
You know what? I find it's just, as long as it's a good character.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But like the point is, like, yeah, Millsley, we're gonna kind of make her like this offset fairy godmother character in a way. Like she's kind of like the support, but not very helpful. Or it depends. We'll see. Because she's not incompetent, but she probably has an agenda of her own. She's hanging around, but she also has a cave somewhere, I think.
Yeah, she lives in the desert.
She comes from the desert. She's a desert witch.
Yeah, she lives in a sand dune.
She lives in a sand dune. She dug a hole.
Yeah.
Lives in it. From WeBot15, yeah, did you guys yam it up? Yeah, we did.
No.
No, we didn't. No, wait, we didn't yam it up? Shoot, we turned up.
We turn
up the heat.
Oh, God.
Turn it up. Let's cut back to Katie Cam.
No, we fixed it.
Apple tab to this. Press that to that. Did not work. Let's try that again. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Alright.
Alright, we're getting dog head.
This fly will not leave me alone.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Go outside where the rain is.
I hate the rain.
I am Casey Jean. Now, here's the problem with a lot of people writing in is now I can't bring up the latest tweet because in the previous tweet.
No, this is great, though.
It's great, but I can't show them because there's more tweets and I can't show the most recent one.
Thanks for your interest, dudes.
Katie, what will you do if you make a mistake inking the dog drawing? Like if I hit the table and shake it. I want to know if you're able to recover from mistakes quickly.
I haven't had an ink spill yet. I think if I wrecked it, I just have to start again.
White out.
Usually I'm pretty lucky. I also use...
This is why you don't ink on originals.
Well, I mean, I can... Well, that's the thing, because I work digitally, I can often just reprint my pencils and try again. I've never had a big goof.
You're way far away from the mic now.
One sec.
You're walking around.
But when I goof up, I use... this...
No,
it's showing the camera.
Show it again.
I just use gouache.
Gouache.
I can't see if it's on the camera because you got that giant screen in the way.
No, it's that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Gouache.
Gouache.
Yes. Although it's not as opaque as I'd like it to be, but
no.
That's how I usually fix up mistakes.
Though I can actually bring up this one from the Flux Fox photo.
Sup, Fox?
Okay, Shaggy Shan, have a great show, guys. I will watch it when I get home. Oh, and count me in for Movember. Sweet! That's right. Thank you for the segue, Flux Fox.
Yeah, explain.
Movember is coming up. What did I have the Flux Fox image up? Because I thought I did, and then it like changed. There, look at it again. It's real. Yoink. Movember is coming up next month. 'Tis the month when the bros shave everything and grow mows and raise money for men's health research, which is great old cause.
Yep.
I'll be doing it again. I admit I put a lot of effort into this year's beard, but you know there's some bigger things in the world than my beard, and I must make the sacrifices I've stated. So
very admirable.
We're going to be starting Movember. Check out, I think my account is like Movember something /Shaggy Shan. I also have Team Molten Lava. Get it? Molten. Molten Lava is our team, and we're going to be raising funds together. So if you want to join the team, if you're capable of growing the Mo, or if you just want to help support and raise money, I think you can just apply for the team. I don't think there's any rigorous process.
Are you offering in surprise incentives again, like another chapter of Twilight?
I will be doing surprise incentives, but this year it's not going to be Twilight.
Oh.
It's going to be, I figure, 'tis a manly event. Let's raise money with manly things. So there will be a reading, but I'm not telling you what it is just yet. But I am rallying the troops.
A manly book?
Yes. The manliest of books. Take what you will from that.
Okay.
But hopefully
Curious.
we will be doing chapters for that. I'm still going to figure out what the best way, like what the peaks are. Like every time we raise a certain amount, new chapter will be released. I would like to try like a bunch of us do it this time. Maybe not like we're all reading on the same book, but like different people do different chapters, and that would like help.
And then you vote which one is the most entertaining.
And you give your dollars to the one you think deserves it. Because you can vote to individuals. We can also vote to the team or donate to individuals in the team. We got 2 tweets here, but Helen comes first, so I can't put it up because this software only posts the most recent tweet. Already. But I'll say, hey, if you could be a cartoon animated character for a day or have one attached to your arm.
To my arm?
Who would it be? P.S. The fly wants the juice.
When she says...
Can't have what's not there.
Yeah. Ugh.
So if you could be a cartoon animated character...
When you say in your arm, you mean like a bird or like a date?
Just kind of hanging on your arm. I'm like Aladdin. He's charming.
I also like Aladdin.
He does have a good smile. I rewatched... Yeah, last week we rewatched the...
Last week you showed up at my house and started blasting Disney show tunes.
Disney
All people were having a party downstairs or something.
We watched... Yeah, we watched... What did we watch? We saw...
Let's get down to
It is
business.
he, Ali Ababa. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. I think the song's called Be a Man. But this is beyond the question. Then we watched Meg's song about No Way I Say I'm in love from Hercules. It was a good song.
Yeah. She's a good singer.
Character you would be. It's
hard.
If it's one that shares similar traits to me, I'd say Vash the Stampede from Trigun, because I am
a cold-blooded killer.
I am a pacifist on the surface.
I know.
But when the time comes, I'll pull the trigger.
But you won't actually
kill
because
I feel like if I say I identified with anyone the most, it'd be Vash.
I really like Vash.
Bashu the Stampede from Trigun. The movie came out. It's on DVD and Blu-ray from Funimation. It's an alright movie. I saw it in theaters, which was fun to see Vash again in theaters, but not the best story. Like, there's been better stories in the series.
Dang.
But really cool to see Vash and Wolfwood back on the big screen, because it's based anytime in the middle of the series, so it was fun. Anyway, who would you be? Or have on your arm?
Well, my first cartoon crush...
Archie.
No. He has, like, tic-tac-toe board on the side of his head.
You'll never be bored. You can always play tic-tac-toe.
I like Van from Escaflowne.
Van? Van! From the Vision of Escaflowne, classic anime series that when you watch again, it can be somewhat laughable.
Yes.
That being said, Delando was harsh.
I like him, she...
Delando's awesome.
It's intense.
If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. What's the word for be kind to it because it's old?
Well, that's the thing. It's. I mean, I felt it was still good. I just felt like some of the animation wasn't as fancy as I remember it being. But there was some really wicked.
There's really good animation. There's really good stuff. And there's liquid
but like
metal.
any show, there's some episodes that don't. They're the easier going episodes.
Yeah.
While you're preparing for the other stuff. I mean, there's few shows that there are some shows that everyone is wicked.
Like characters or?
Well, I mean animation quality.
And we have, let's see, I'll bring up a tweet. Coming in from Idnis or Sandy Shig. Are you ever going to take off that hat? Okay. Hat is off.
Oh, you ruined it!
Hat is back on.
It's over.
I hope you enjoyed that. No.
We lost the magic.
Yes. I'm going to switch this, switch that, and
the
bring it back.
mystery's gone.
Ah. Well, I didn't actually show them. I had the other camera on.
Oh, that's what you did.
I was being clever and cheeky. I don't know where my phone is, so I can't time check, but I can look at the computer. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Toronto Standard Time. We're doing live talking and live inking of a doggy.
Yeah.
There's a dog.
There's a dog.
I don't know if the individual...
I'm going kind of slow just because we're chatting. Normally I'd be a lot quicker.
See, this is
FYI,
why we
so-
don't want you to draw from scratch while we're chatting, because it's just you couldn't focus at all.
Yeah, if I was just drawing from scratch, everybody would be getting stick figures. You'd be getting phone doodles for commissions.
Yeah. Phone?
Well, you know when like you're on the phone and you doodle.
I thought you meant like phoning it in, which is kind of similar.
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe the origin of the term phoning it in is when you, as an actor, don't show up to the recording studio, but you just call in your act. And that would be the origin of phoning it in. Either that or it had something to do with gramophone, like the guy recorded it on a record, on a gramophone, and sent it in. And they're like, this guy...
By
like,
Joe, what a chump.
This was the 1990s, so like, what a jerk.
It's like scratching.
So, that's phoning, that's a little history. Phoning it in.
And the more you know, the more you learn.
There's something else I learned recently, I forgot what it was, so much for that,
That's been good.
No, it was... Had something to do with the meaning behind a word. Had something to do with a doctor. No, it had to do with leeches. It's not as interesting.
Leeches.
Actually, I was watching Graham post up a link from Stephen Fry's show QI,
I love Stephen Fry.
which is basically a show where he shows us all how amazingly smart he is.
He is a very intelligent man.
He knows everything.
Very
It's amazing. But he was just talking about like where the words originize from.
Well, he was the one that said in his podcast that this sentence makes sense. Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
Yes.
It actually makes perfect sense.
Because, yeah, so buffalo, 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 buffalo is a full legitimate sentence because, you know, I'm not going to break it down. I'll let you guys figure that one out.
No, you should break it down.
No.
Okay.
Not going to break it down.
You should go watch Stephen Fry's English Delight.
What's that?
Well, that's where I heard that. It was his podcast.
It's called English Delight? I thought it was... Have I been listening to the wrong show all this time? Because he had another show that doesn't update ever anymore. And the last episode was from like a live chat about like piracy and stuff. And he was also talking about how like Shakespeare himself invented words that weren't legitimate, but they still like he'd say things like he chaired a meeting. Like that wasn't even a real word, but it's okay now. And the one thing I really appreciate of Stephen Fry is he finds much delight in the linguist arts and stuff. Like I'm just trying to be like him at this point, but he supports the notion of like inventing new words, like the evolution of the vernacular. Like why not have more, invent words and let the common language become, like lol is in the dictionary now, even though
I can see that.
I don't use it out loud. But we had this discussion while we were in Oakland, just by San Francisco, and we were talking about how certain words should be legitimate, like gonna, wanna, coulda.
Yeah.
Shoulda, I'ma, because I use those words all the time. Like I'm a gonna be. I use them in tangent and combinations. So it's like, why not make them legitimate, words? I don't need that spell check.
Well, then I feel like you're kind of opening the door to like the English language just becoming.
In as much as the apostrophe s for short
tweet,
form,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Like we are down to we're. Why not go further and make everything short form so we can have a quicker life? I don't know. We spent so much time talking. Enough of this.
Do we?
Let's draw more.
I thought there was a problem that people weren't conversing enough.
Yeah, multi-conversing.
Alright, this is the problem where I don't know if I should ink all this in or... Oh, you know what? Yeah,
What?
I'm just going to go around lines. We're going to figure this out. But first I'm going to write in the name.
Yeah, like doing a signing, or are we gonna write the name?
No, I was just doing a little cursive of the dog's name. Yumi.
Oh, hey, Creepy Porpoise is in the chat.
Sup, Creepy Porpoise?
No, wait, the chat just disappeared. What is... I don't understand this chat at all. This is why we keep using the Twitter. Alright, jumping out sideways and switch. Switch! There you go. Alright, so I swore this time I'd have more things to say, so just before coming here, I started watching West Side Story.
Oh,
Thoughts?
did you? I haven't seen it. I can't tell you my thoughts.
Tell me your opinion of West Side Story.
I think there's some music in it and other guys like snapping going down the
A lot
street.
more than I thought there would be. I thought there was just one scene, but that's like the whole movie so far.
A lot of snapping.
Yeah. The opening is probably the worst 7 minutes of my life. Because it's like, it's like an overture, so you can see it was like taken directly from the play. And they probably just had like, you know how in musicals there's always a screen and then it becomes see-through, and as a kid you're like, how'd they do that? But it's like France 1803.
My favorite intro thing like that was from the old Three Musketeers movie, where it's three guys holding their hands
holding
up,
their swords.
but it's not as still, so it's these three arms holding like swords up.
It was literally them like holding their swords, and
so
halfway through it they're like... But it's basically like that, but it's a stagnant image of you kind of build that it's a cityscape because it's just like a bunch of lines. So it's like the windows of a load of buildings. And it's there for like it's there for like the first 5 minutes. And then it keeps changing color once in a long while. Like, you pull up hue and saturation on Photoshop and you just go, wah, and it does that. And then it pans down and goes West Side Story. Like, all right. And then it's 2 minutes of helicopter shots of buildings and nothing's happening. And you realize this is boring. But then people start snapping and you're like, all right, it's beginning.
Someone's going to get messed
Someone's going to get snapped. So they start snapping. And then another group shows up and they start snapping, so they steal their snap.
Are they snap dressers?
No. And then they run around the city and they're snapping and start rolling all over each other and tackling and jumping and spinning. And after a while you realize it's a dance that represents fighting, because otherwise they're not really the most threatening gang on the street. Because they're kind of like snapping and going wee with each other. I'm like, whoa. It could be like
one of the gangs in the Warriors, the dancing gang.
Is there one? I've never seen the Warriors.
There's a lot of different gangs.
We got some tweets in. We got 2 of them, so I'll post with the next one. But Edna says, will there be an Alan backstory? There was stuff written about... I don't know if we're ever actually going to have a whole thing based on it. But there's a bit of a backstory regarding the Wizards Guild and stuff, and how wizards get applied to different kingdoms and stuff like that. Because we're going to meet a few other wizards coming in later stories. And there's a very interesting backstory element about who taught Alan. which I'll say for later. It's a really, I'm a genius.
And so humble.
And so humble. It's going to be good. I can't wait. We got this from Weebot15. I love the snapping. It's somehow incredibly threatening, and not threatening at all those gangs are. Well, yeah, because, like, these gangs are going by snapping. And then, like, this guy bounces a basketball, and he's like, whoa. And then they're like, pass him back the ball, and then they walk by him, and I'm like, that was a close one.
Yeah.
Dude almost got snapped. So, yeah, it's intense.
Don't mess.
And there's, like, a lot of lovely dancing, and a lot of men jumping around. It's great.
That's my kind of movie.
You can really tell, though, it was taken directly from... Like, I haven't seen the musical. Like, I haven't seen it yet. But you can really tell it was taken, like, directly from the stage. Like, it's not necessarily shot like it's a stage show, because they do have multiple sets and scenes, but there is kind of a central environment that's like the basketball court, and just the sequences of people dancing around. This is very, I'm just going to assume it's a faithful adaptation. You can contest on that and fight me on whether West Side Story is a faithful. It was a 1961 film too, actually. I was like, that was pretty long ago. So when did Grease come out? Anyone know? Grease.
2012.
Right, Grease came out in 2012. Just like, isn't like Flashdance and other dance movie coming out again? All those old dance movies, they're back. Because you can't leave good enough alone.
No, you gotta modernize that. Because people don't get dance from the old days.
Yeah.
What?
We gotta go like
in the
do the anger dance through the steel mill.
See, I don't know if they can, like, if it'll just be funny if they're doing it again.
He swings around, I think. Or was that in the original? I don't know.
Well, it's because, I don't know, it's almost like kind of a gag scene now, almost. So would they play it sincerely?
Well, it's like wailing electric guitars and a guy like banging the walls and doing like.
Well, I mean, that's why I love Flight of the Conchords, where Brett does his angry dance.
There's a great scene. Brett from Flight of the Conchords is going through like the warehouse district, all angry. It starts off, he has his vitamin water and he like starts throwing it everywhere, and then the saxophone kicks in, and really well
that's
done.
what I do when I'm upset. Do some friggin' angry dancing.
So I still got to finish West Side Story, but I got to the part where some girl got a dress, and I'm like, "There's girls in this movie." So there you go.
Thank you.
They don't really show up much. Thank you, Shakespeare, for adding female roles to West Side Story.
Yes.
What else did I watch? I didn't watch anything else this week, did I? I just played a bunch of the Saboteur, which is not that old a game, but it's a sandbox game for Xbox, and I do that thing where I play it till 4 a.m. for no reason at all.
Why are you up so late? Because then we need to work on stuff, and I call you in your sleep, and then you call me at midnight. Hey, you want to do stuff? And I'm like, that's my bedtime.
Yeah, but like some other good titles are coming out too. Like we got Assassin's Creed coming up later in November. Batman Arkham City just came out, and it segues into a point I wanted to make. Very last performance of Mark Hamill as the Joker.
I read that, yeah.
Batman Arkham, I knew that beforehand, but
that's
like he also kind of just tweeted recently that
he's done.
He's done. He's been in it since the original Batman animated series, Mask of the Phantasm. He was in it. He also did like a voiceover and a flashback from that live action. There's a live action series about like Barbara, Catwoman. It was called like Eagles and Ladies Who Are Birds of Prey, something like that. I don't know. It was
live action.
It was on the WB. I don't know how well it did, but it was called Birds of Prey. And Mark Hamill did like a voiceover for that just as a flashback. And he was in like Batman Beyond and stuff. So end of an era, man. Mark Hamill, Joker, he did an amazing job.
Very much enjoyed that character, the Bruce Timm Joker.
And of course, what's the name of the guy who plays Batman?
The actor?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Is it Kevin something? I don't know.
It's like a manly sounding name.
It has to be.
Super manly.
We got Edna saying, do you have a favorite musical? I know it's not officially staged, but Moulin Rouge is so good.
I have to say, probably Les Mis. There's just a lot of, yeah. I went and saw it when I was 16, and Colm Wilkinson was there as Jean Valjean.
Yeah, he tore it up.
Yeah, and I forget the name of the guy who did Javert, but it was the awesome Javert was there too.
Good Javert.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Actually, no. All right, if I had to say legitimate musical, I'd have to say Avenue Q.
Actually, that was a lot of fun.
Because I saw it at a perfect time in my life. I just graduated. I was like 22, 23, whatever it was.
That one really resonates.
And that song, I wish I could go back to college. Every year when school starts again, I hear it and I'm like... I get it. I teared up when I heard it because it's just such a sad song, but it's like it's a true song though. It's a very true play, which is probably why it resonates with me. Because also like a lot of attempts at making modern musicals are kind of like they're mostly jukebox musicals where they take well-known songs and tie a rock revolution storyline around it. So it's nice to see Avenue Q, like all original songs that people got into. They're memorable, you know, and it was a musical that spoke to me because like I'm not like I identify with the Phantom.
And there's Muppets.
You know. There's Muppets. And it was really it was just funny as hell, too. So, Avenue Q. I really want to see Book of Mormon.
Yeah, we were going to see that when we went to New York, but it was totally sold out.
Yeah.
We'll have to see that again.
I'm excited to see that.
I'm done the inks on this.
Done the inks. Let's jump over to Katie Cam.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go in and try and figure out how to spot it.
All right. We got a doggy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and see if I can. There's
Now you gotta make him a black dog.
Yeah, I gotta.
So now we dump the ink all over the paper.
I just take a big old bottle of ink.
Sloppy bottle of ink.
You're about to find out what happens whenever we're in a drawing.
We got a question from WeBot15. What do you guys think about Total Recall being remade?
They were making that in Toronto.
Can Colin Farrell do Arnie justice? Only if his eyes pop out and he goes, ah!
Yeah, I want to see it outside the airlock scene.
Yeah, they are shooting that in Toronto, actually.
Yeah, because there was a call for sketchy-looking extras. I was like, oh, you could do that.
I would have been perfect.
You would have been so good.
That being said, I have a big growing list of films I have yet to see in their entirety, and Total Recall is probably on there somewhere, like next to Goodfellas.
I've seen it.
Clockwork Orange.
I remember that one's.
The Godfather. And
I like Godfather.
Good list of films I haven't seen. I'm getting there though. As I
what is
mentioned,
it we just watched the other day?
We watched Leon the Professional.
We were stopping by. We weren't going to watch it, and then the scene just kind of caught us.
It was the scene when Gary Oldman first shows up in that part. Well, second time he shows up in that apartment.
When he comes to collect.
And you can't leave the room when that scene's playing.
It's so tense. The music is so intense.
The Professional.
The acting is so good.
It's such
so
a good film.
Scary, and like we were passing by. I was just gonna pick up stuff and go
home.
And then we're standing there just watching the screen.
We were standing for a good 7 minutes. We didn't sit down because we weren't committing to watching a movie, but we're like. And then I just kind of slowly sat on the ground. I'm like...
And then Shaggy's girlfriend Helen says, do you guys want to watch the whole thing? Like, can you go back to the beginning?
Can you rewind the film?
We ended up sitting there for 2 hours
and then we watched the whole movie. So Leon the Professional.
I like that one.
Yeah, you can't remake that.
No.
How did we get to that? Total Recall being remade. Yeah, so growing list of movies I haven't seen yet. Total Recall, I gotta check it out. But, you know, it's inevitable. Movies are going to be remade because... I'm not going to say, like, you know, sometimes remakes turn out well.
It's kind of like the original Little Shop of Horrors was, like, shot in, 3 days. It was black and white, and there was no singing.
Well, the original Little Shop of Horrors
I really like
was just a movie shot while a set was still up in studio, and they did it quickly. Then they made a musical of it on stage. Then they made a movie of the musical, which is kind of like what happened with Hair, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's like when a story becomes a musical, becomes a movie. I don't know if you can make a musical of that movie after that, because then it gets just really confusing. I think that supposedly there's going to be an Evil Dead musical movie. And that's kind of like that, because it's a musical of a movie. of a musical.
Yeah.
Wait, movie of a musical.
That was a fun musical.
Evil Dead was... Actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that one, because Evil Dead the musical was really funny. Really good.
Yeah.
We were just outside the splatter zone when we went. And, yeah, no, if it comes by your town, check... Like, I haven't even... I'll admit, I haven't even seen the entirety of the original Evil Deads. I saw Army of Darkness, but I haven't seen it, and I still enjoyed the hell out of it. We got a question coming from Chris the host, the devil... Wait, why did I say the devil? The face of life.
Oh my god.
Wait, this is someone else's post. Why is it showing up here? Okay, let's go back a second.
Okay.
No, there we go. These tweets are confusing. Alright, because Katie's... The weird thing... Alright, I'm going to tell you something really quickly. So, this Cam Twist, for some reason, gets Katie's tweets sooner than Katie's Twitter. So, I'm getting like 3 tweets ahead. Oh, here they are now. Okay.
Oh.
I'm getting 3 tweets ahead on Cam Twist before they show up here. And I don't know... Let's just read this one. From Chris the host, the face for life is displeased with your lack of yams.
Aw, sorry.
And he gave us a displeased face, which is a shame. Well, what can I...
You know,
there's
still opportunities for yamming.
Christmas is a time of yams.
Yeah. Yeah, we got all autumn to yam it up.
Yam it?
So... Yam you! We will have some yams.
Yam it all to hell. Speaking of not that, Creepy Porpoise writes...
Hey, Creepy Porpoise.
Not totally relevant.
Oh, that's okay.
On this show. But if you like Jean Reno and haven't seen it yet, Wasabi is an entertaining French film set in Japan.
Wasabi. I have heard of that.
I've heard of that.
I will add it to my
list.
list.
And I also finally watched Lost in Translation a while ago.
I need a bigger brush.
Good point. Anyway. Wasabi, yeah. John Reno's an interesting character because I don't know if he has like more involvement in Japan than even we know about, but when Onimusha 3 came out for the PlayStation, he was in that game as the main character. His face and his voice. The funny thing was, though, in the Japanese version, it was his voice. I don't know if he was speaking French or Japanese or English or something, but in the English version, they had a different actor do John Reno's voice. So, there you go.
Why?
But Onimusha 3, check out Jean Reno. He has a magic whip. And he defends France. And the fly is really near that camera now.
Oh god. If something monstrous comes in front of the camera, we're really sorry.
Chris the host says, assuming this is the most recent tweet. Alright. I love the preview comic page. If I wasn't a poor art student, I would have bought it. But with the prince and princess have... But will the prince and princesses have names?
Actually, no. They won't.
And the reason is...
Do you ever watch the Berenstain Bears?
No, that's not the reason. I'm gonna give them names now. That's horrible. I wrote it. I kind of have 2 reasons for doing this. First, when I wrote it, it was more of just a writing challenge to see how long I can run a story without giving the characters names.
Well, now they're gonna notice.
Yeah, but everyone gives them titles like my liege and my lord and brother, and other guys are gonna be like friend of mine. So I'm gonna like trickily try to keep it fresh all the time. And the second half, the dream side of me is like, now kids could be like, I'm the princess and I'm the prince because they don't have names. It could be me.
Yeah.
So now anyone can be.
I can see that. Names are important. Like,
yeah.
It's dumb. The reason I got into Lost in the first place because it was like, there's a main character with freckles and her name's Kate. Awesome. That's kind of like me.
Hey, I'm Kate. I have freckles. That's a great shot.
Never mind that I'm nothing like her. But
Nothing at all.
But yeah, so hey. Yeah. But so anyone can be the characters.
Yeah, even you.
If you want to be a selfish prince.
The fly is right above the camera and he's brushing his legs.
Ew.
And flapping his wings. He's
So
mocking us.
It's unsettling. It just makes it look like we're glaring at the
We're angry at the audience.
That's so gross.
Oh, why does he love the computer so? I know you want to be on the show.
Because it's hot.
It's not your show. Ustream's free. Get your own show. The time is 11:20 p.m. Toronto Eastern Time. If you've got any questions or comments about the comics, Silly Kingdom, for us in general, or for Katie's drawings, which are happening as we spoke of.
Yeah. Just
look at that.
Spotting in the blacks.
You can write into @KatieShy because the chat on Ustream is garbage. Speaking of magic dogs, you ever play that game with a dog?
Okay, Nintendogs?
No. It was on the Wii and the PS2, and the dog had a paintbrush. I forget the name of it.
Woof. I'm trying to think of like Bart Casso or something. No, it's not working. Woof.
A Dog's Life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's called something amazing, but I've never played it actually, which is weird because it was by the same studio, Clover Studios, who did the Beautiful Joe, which was one of my favorite games on the GameCube. But no, I never played it. Yeah. But this dog reminds me of that because it is a dog. Then there was that other dog. What was that? The dog was like a dog racing dog, and there was an evil dog racing dog who's like, now I win the race.
There's an evil one.
And I get all the female dogs.
That's how it works in real life.
I'm sorry, I have to give the fun. He's like, I get the bitches. Because it's appropriate to say in that case.
Okay, fine.
There you go. You learn something from kids' cartoons. Was that called... That wasn't Barto, was it? The magic dog...
Balto?
Balto? Baltog?
Balto.
Dogto?
It was
Balto?
Balto.
Yeah. And they're like, we gotta get the medicine to the sick children. Speaking of how slow Twitter is on this page, 5 just showed up. And they were probably already in the program. This thing has to refresh quicker. Okami! Yes, thank you, Creepy Porpoise. It was Okami.
Oh, Okami.
And they came out with another one for the DS, which was a puppy. Really cute.
Okami's
And it makes sense on DS, because, touchscreen. Chris the host. Okami!
Thank you.
See, where Creepy Porpoise questions Okami with a question mark, Chris is like affirmative. He's like, no. Okami.
Told you.
Then I am Dan Williams says, dog game is called Okami. Very awesome.
I think this is going to be the
in
tweets
this
for the next
says
5
Okami.
minutes.
I'll even show you all. Okami. That game was awesome. Fly, go away. Yes, I have to play it at some point. I have to play a lot of games. That's also partially why I mentioned earlier that I was playing the Saboteur, because there's like a wealth and history of old games I haven't touched yet.
Yeah.
That I read about and know about. And sometimes it's good to go back. In the case of Assassin's Creed, I went back to the very first game. Just like Brotherhood was already out by now. And I haven't touched any Assassin's Creed. And I played the original. I'm like, this is a really good game. Like the climbing feels great. Jumping roofs is awesome. Sword fighting.
Just watch.
The game was really repetitive though. And it was kind of like you kept going on the exact same missions no matter what city you're in. Assassin's Creed 2 comes around. Holy crap. This is the epitome of what a sequel should be. They improved everything. They made it even funner. The design is beautiful. You're going through Venice and you're going through Florence and you meet your Uncle Mario. And you're doing stabbies with 2 hands and you can pull a guy off an edge which you couldn't before and you can land on the guy which you couldn't before. And now I gotta start Brotherhood, so I'm gonna do that right after I finish with the Saboteur game and see if that was any good.
No,
and
how do you find time to play video games?
I don't. That's why I play till 4 in the morning because I start at midnight.
Okay.
Because I'm working all day.
Because I don't have time.
Yeah, no, video games.
I still gotta finish Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, and the new Shadow Colossus pack came out. We have from Chris the host. Yeah! Sunglasses. Though I believe it's sunglasses, then yeah. I don't want to be snooty. But it's like, you put on your sunglasses and it goes, Wah!
Is this Beautiful Joe?
No, I think it's CSI, Miami.
Oh, wow! Yeah.
I don't know why everyone said it was yeah. I always thought it was Wah! Yeah. How's this dog coming along?
It's going. It's
going.
Yeah, just spotting it in. Taking my time. It's a Wednesday. Just chilling.
So what's the process? You think you're going to, like, just throw it all in an envelope and ship it? Or,
I'm going to crumple it up, stick it in a sock, and throw
it out the window and hope it makes it to its destination.
Yeah. No, I'm going to, wrap it nicely and send it. Because they get the original. Ashley will be getting this as an original.
Speaking of original, the original Toronto Zombie Walk, horrible segue, is coming up this weekend. Yes. Saturday is Toronto Zombie Walk. Going? Well, I always go. I don't really dress up though.
We could just
I don't like wearing makeup on my face.
Yeah, but you could go as like John Marston again.
No, I only did that once.
That was really good.
Only once.
It was good.
I might just wear my Left 4 Dead t-shirt with the backpack, the health kit on the backpack. But a zombie walk's always a good time because it's not just zombies. People do cosplay zombies.
That's
so you got like Sailor Moon
you take
zombie,
your cosplay
zombie.
From last year and just dump a bunch of blood on it, and then you're good to go.
If you're done with it, just tear it. So technically, I could do an Altair zombie.
Yeah,
from
that would
Assassin's
be amazing.
Creed, but I don't want to ruin the costume.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Took a lot of work.
I liked the 4 links from last year.
That was cool.
And then the zombie Ganon. That was wicked.
Zombie Ganon.
They were so cute.
There's a lot. Fly, get off the camera.
Was it on it?
I hate you.
It's creepy.
It's a jerk. We got lots of zombie stuff coming up. So,
Tis the
do you
season.
have zombie walking your town? Check it out. Tell us how it went.
Yeah, with the Toronto Zombie Walk, I believe you follow the herd up
Yeah.
to Bloor Cinema
Usually
and watch
ends
some scary movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it usually ends at Christie Pitts.
No, really? I
Yeah.
thought you went and watched movies.
No, Bloor Cinema isn't even open right now.
No.
It's under construction.
What?
Yeah.
I
Bloor
should've
Cinema
gone
got
in the
bought
heyday.
out by the Hot Dogs or TIFF?
I clearly do
They
not
got bought
know
out
the
by
house
some
much.
festival.
Taffy?
Not taffy, because that's what you eat.
The Toronto Animation
Oh.
Arts Festival.
It's like saltwater taffy bought out the Bloor Cinema. Now only taffy movies. Movies about taffy. Nick Cage. Taffy.
Okay.
We got coming up on a tweet here from Innis. Reload. Become Innis. No, it's not going to do that. Alright, well, I'll read this one first and then we'll put up the next one. How many millions of commissions do you have to do? Oh, weird fly.
Let me see. I think there's about 50 of them.
Is that black and whites and colors?
Mixed together.
Because is there more colored than black and white?
There are more color than black and white.
Okay, well that's not single character
No, it'll
non-background
be
isn't
fine.
too.
It's just I got busy with storyboards this month, so it
Yeah.
got held up a little bit.
Just for those curious, how the process works is when it comes to delivering books, we're going through the ranks of. We finished all the 15s. If you're a $15 Indiegogo, 15 up to 19, we shipped it. We sent it.
Yeah.
It should be on its way on tugboat or otherwise.
Yeah, for
It
those
should be on its way to your
for those who don't know what we're talking about, this is like the crowd. What do you call it? Crowd raising.
perks or
Well, this
donation.
is the original donation for Silly Kingdom that helped us get it off the ground
Yeah.
to get printed. So we're that came with rewards, so we're just sending them off now.
and some of the rewards take a little more time to work on, so understandably, we don't want to send the book and then send the art and then send this and send
yeah,
that. Like,
so that's,
so we
that's why
want to do
everybody
it
got
all as one package.
digital copies. As
So
well.
everyone got their digital copies. You all get to read the story. Physical copies on their way. 15s are done.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I suppose, throw us a line and we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Beyond that, 20s, then 30s, then 40s, then 75s with the sketch, black and white.
With your original
Then
thing.
100 with the original and the color. So this is why, thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you so
'cause
much.
It will take a while to get all these out with the added incentives. Speaking of incentive, I'm incentivated to read a
Are you
tweet.
segueing?
Yes. A great CSI game to play is to suggest a murder scene, then second person has to come up with a clever pun, then wow!
That is a good game.
That is a good game. I should try that sometime. I would try it now, but I don't have sunglasses. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're just double checking. We're like, no. All I
Yeah,
got is
sorry.
these.
That works.
So I'm like, looks like we have the crime.
Wow! Wait, was that your pun?
What?
Looks like we have a crime.
I don't know, because there's no crime.
Looks like we have a crime.
I'm stating the obvious for this one. And stating a tweet. Dang nabbit. Oh, now another one showed up, so I can't show that one, sorry. I am Dan Williams says, Commission Dog is looking fantastic. Speaking of looking,
Thank
let's
you,
look
Dan
at
Williams.
it. Yoink.
I should probably not have left the face for last because I'm going to be nervous.
It's looking fantastic. I'm horrible at drawing animals. Do you find anything awkward to draw? Hands. Motorcycles. What?
I like hands. Basically, the human body I'm pretty decent with.
Mastered it.
Backgrounds are really tricky for me, which sucks because, when you work in a comic setup, generally you're doing all the art unless you get someone to do backgrounds for you. When I work in animation, there's a whole bunch of different people doing different things, so I don't generally have to deal with backgrounds, but that's one of my big weaknesses. Another one is, I guess, mostly it just comes down to perspective. I'm still a little bit hazy on it. So putting a character in extreme perspective or sticking them in a giant cityscape is a little bit harrowing. But, like anything, if you practice at it, you'll get better at it. So I just need to practice.
Chris, the host, says, I am the fly. You jerk.
Why are you doing this, Chris, the host?
Why are you ruining our show? Anyways.
And how are you
guys,
also typing while you're flying around?
Anyways, you guys be setting up a booth at cons and sell Silly Kingdom. Yes.
Yes.
We did set up at APE, the Associated Press Expo.
The alternative press expo.
I don't. What did I say? Associated Press.
Associated.
No, those guys are the news outlet.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool though. If we're like, and now we have weather, sports, and Silly Kingdom. I'm like, all right. Cool. Meanwhile, overseas, let's see, Silly Kingdom. So I forget what I said. But we do have coming up Canzine this Sunday. Somewhere up Bathurst.
1 till 7.
From 1 till 7.
I think.
Canzine at a place. I don't know what time it is.
It's above Bloor somewhere.
North of Bloor on Bathurst. And we should have a table. We will have a table. We do have a table. And we'll have copies of Silly Kingdom available there as well. Which we'll be selling for people to purchase with currencies.
Preferably Canadian.
Preferably Canadian denominations. Edness, what's going on? Let's bring this up. Alright, what's your favorite thing to draw?
I guess faces. I really like faces and expressions, and yeah, people.
Folks.
You know, just good old boys and girls. Yeah, I like acting with people, so I have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. Oh.
How about that?
No.
What's your favorite thing to draw, Edness?
What do you like, Innes?
What do you like to do?
Shaggy, what's your favorite thing to draw?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Actually, I'd say faces too, because I remember back when I was working for Alliance. It was a company I was doing some like documentary animation stuff, and every day I'd have a sticky note where I'd just draw my mood for the day, and usually be all these like devastated faces. Like,
a lot of.
And I had a whole wall covered, like kind of like these hearts up here, but covered with sticky notes of these devastated faces.
They say if you wake up every morning, look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I want to do what I'm doing today? And you say no, enough times in the row you should switch it. You're looking at all these devastated faces you've drawn.
Well, eventually,
that would give you a hint.
Eventually it turned into
like
like my syndicated comic series, because then I like made little jokes and things and stuff, and then that's how I kind of came to my more modern character design that I use for my signature in books and things.
Yeah, that's true.
So if
you have a malcontent face in your book,
if you open up Silly Kingdom, you see
a little tiny face.
That's inspired from my work life.
Yeah.
So there's inspiration behind everything.
Wow.
We got coming up from Mad Salty Chips, Eric B. Let me see if I can bring this bad boy up.
Right.
Boom. Nope. The new one showed up. Okay. The doctor was covered in blood, but the corpses went missing. Well, I guess some doctors tend to lose their patience. Yeah!
That was a good one.
Well done.
Wait, was that from the show or?
I don't know.
Good one.
All right. Well, whoever. I'll just say good one.
Props for you. Now I want to think of one.
That's hard, but like I think someone else has to come up with a scenario though, because it's usually someone says it to him, and then he comes up with a pun. Like it's kind of like, he got buried in donuts.
Don't look at me with that one. Wait. No, you're the writer.
Looks like we solved the whole case.
No, wait. This case is gonna be sweet.
I like that.
That's a woman like.
This is gonna be sweet. That's pretty horrible. See his hand sticking out. Oh man, that's a good game. I'm going to use that more often.
That was a good game.
All right, now we can catch up with our good buddy Chris, the host, who says, "Katie, what got you into drawing?"
Oh, I've been drawing since I was little.
Wait, what got you into drawing, Katie? Oh, never mind.
What got you
into drawing yourself?
Into drawing me?
No, just general. I think it's just a question.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I liked cartoons. I like comics. I like books. So I drew from them. I copied them. I drew my own. I used to draw little storybooks when I was really little that wouldn't really finish. They'd be just grand adventures that would stop.
You own those staple books or staple
Yeah,
comics.
I was also planning on making my own animated movie when I was 8, starring our dog. It was like a big detective mystery, and I was starting to sketch it out. And then I realized that animation takes a friggin' long time.
But nowadays, that'd be more possible than ever, because every kid has Flash or anime.
Yeah, it's really easy to make films
like
these days, because the technology makes it really simple.
Like, basically, no one has any reason not to make it. Like, back in the day, if you want to do stuff like this right now, you get... local cable access show, and you have like if you watch that Family Guy episode where you have the Kiss Forum, you'd basically have this weekly low budget show where people did their thing because they wanted to be stars. It's like hosting shows, and you can't do that at your own house, kind of like a pirate radio station, because getting on the TV is a bit trickier. nowadays everyone has a YouTube channel, so you have no excuse not to make anything except for your own motivations.
And there's so many tutorials out there that if you don't know what you're doing, you just Google it and then you find out. So I mean, it really just comes down to how much time you have and how motivated you are to get stuff done, I guess.
Yeah, like back then, I guess people always made things when they were younger. Like you drew and you recorded stuff, but like you didn't necessarily have a platform for it. Like if we made a little staple comic, we gave it to 3 relatives and 5 friends, and that was the end of that run.
I used to make a lot of my own comics back in the day. I won't share any probably when I was 10, 11, 12, but I have mini zines.
Was we had a photocopier in the house, and not everyone had that. So that was our one advantage of making we could make books.
We'd make a lot.
Yeah.
I think what was the first one I made? I made you a giant birthday comic.
Yeah, well, that was way later.
That took a year to do.
Was that later?
Yeah, I made a story I think you wrote as well. Closet Boy, did you write that?
Yes, I wrote that.
Yeah, and then I made a giant...
That was supposed to be a 3-parter. We only made 2 parts.
Sailor Moon.
And there was a 50-page Sailor Moon fan comic.
It was also a comedy, which was good.
Which was amazing, because it took our misinformed opinions of the true Japanese characters, how they really were, and we tried writing based on that.
Yeah.
So, Jupiter was always, punching and punching people.
They were all kind of ridiculous.
Cigars and stuff later in the episodes.
Yeah.
Because we assumed those are the things that were all cut out from, the American broadcast.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what got edited out, and then we're trying to stick that back. And no, you won't be seeing this, because the art is so bad.
And, here's the thing, is, in Japan, Luna has, this adorable voice. But, in the North American release, she has this irritating, naggy voice.
Oh, I like McGonagall.
So you always have, Serena Usagi, punting Luna, if she's being naggy, just shut up, Luna, no one cares what you have to say.
And it's just kind of...
She's I'll get you, Usagi.
She just flies back.
There's one moment where Sailor Moon's fighting the boss, and Luna has a flag saying, "Die, Sailor Moon," or something like that. Yeah. It's just, weird little gags.
It's such a weird comment.
I know, they're funny. They're delightful.
I'm glad you approve.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad you read it. Oh my goodness.
Well, no, I always, for some reason, I always find, when you're younger, you tend to write the funniest stuff, because it's
definitely.
you're what's the word? You're inhibited. There's uninhibited, I guess. Because there's nothing really stopping you from writing what's awesome. This is also the big draw to Axe Cop, why everyone's loving it, because, you got this, 5-year-old who's writing and this 20, 30-year-old drawing it. But, everything that's in the book is, the subtext is, this is cool. Axe Cop talking about how, teaching how to kill bad guys. He's first you chop off their head, then you kick the head, then you shoot it while it's in the air. And it's this stuff you'd never do, but it's just this. It's man. I remember reading it one Saturday morning. I was just lying down reading Axe Cop, and I was crying laughing at the scene when he says he gets his dinosaur, and then we'll go into space and use our dual machine guns to shoot bad guys. And so Axe Cop is riding this dinosaur wearing sunglasses with guns blasting bad guys. And it's just the greatest. And I just want a poster of that.
Yeah.
So if you look back to some of the early stuff you write, it tends to just be just weird. I have some short stories I had Goldilocks and the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
I remember that.
As a school project, I wrote that.
Oh yeah.
What else did I write? I wrote this story called Weenus from Venus, and the only reason I wrote it because I had a friend who couldn't pronounce V's. He pronounced them with W's, and I based the whole story around him.
You must have.
And every time he said Viva Puffs, he said Weeva Puffs. So I made the bad guys evil Viva Puffs with guns. So they're those chocolate marshmallow cookies.
Ooh, with the gross.
And they have little legs.
Ugh.
And I don't know, it's just a really weird story, but I got a good mark for being imaginative. So there you go. Do what you feels right.
Encourage the young minds,
yes.
teachers.
So don't worry about what you write. Just write something, right?
Yeah. Just write it. Get it out there. Be awesome.
The current time is 8:40 p.m. Let's take a look back at this doggy drawing.
Yeah, I think I'll be done by 9. Which is really sad because this commission's taken pretty long when I think about how long we've been here.
It's only been an hour a bit.
Yeah.
7. We start at 7:30ish something. Yeah. What else we got? Are you gonna do the whole face, or are you gonna leave that a little under?
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Cause what's the trick of it's kind of you have this imaginative white outline.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Because when you have characters who are really dark and they overlap themselves, you have to use a white line in a black and white comic to differentiate.
That usually just comes to your own discretion on what you think looks good. Or you know what? It's kind of just experimenting. If I goof, I'll just go back in with the gouache. And fix it. Should be almost there. And then I have to add some more fluffy fur on this guy.
So I mean, we're like, what's our next commissions we're looking at? Do you have any? Well, like I said, if you're who are watching are one of the commissioned people and you haven't written in what you want your commission to be, get on top of that so Katie can get started.
It'll probably take a little while to get to because I am doing first come first serve.
It is first come first serve, so if you want it now, make it nowish by sending in now.
Okay, I might have to go in with the gouache.
Gouache. Let's watch gouache.
In a moment. Yeah, because I kind of messed up the mouth. Ah!
Now, is gouache going to be like noticeable? It's not like a layer of whiteout, is it?
Well, it's not as bad as whiteout.
Okay. So it's like a flatter paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take a look-see at the Twitter. Robertson, Lindsay writes, could you guys explain the email that went out about these? We'll talk about that on email because this is very technical stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Done. It's just stuff about second printing stuff, but we'll deal with that in a bit. Because there's some like weird hurdles and stuff. But in this says, you guys ever go to cons in New York or near there?
Yes, I went to Mocha last March, I think. April? Yeah. And it was very fun. I wanted to go to New York Comic Con, but I've been really busy with storyboards this month, so I alas did not go. But everybody sounded like they had such a good time that I think next year I'd very much like to go check it out.
Trying to like New York, so we missed the New York Comic Con.
Yeah, there's also Brooklyn. There's a book festival in Brooklyn in December, I think. Go check it out. Go freeload on some couches.
Brooklyn Book Fest. Yeah, we'll have to get a heads up on that.
Yeah. I might go with the Anthology Project crew. I'm not sure if they're going. Yeah.
Anthology Project, of course, is a big old book. Where is it? You have a copy over
It's a lovely book. Yeah, it's on the cage shelf. They're the two little ones.
Where?
Little hardcovers between Flight and Fables.
Aha. Let's switch on back to this thing. Yes. Anthology Project. So Katie's got submission in this one. I suppose you'll be able to pick that up at most cons that the Anthology Project people go to.
Yeah, you can also buy it on the website.
Yes.
I think it's the anthologyproject.com. And I think don't know too much about other distributors just yet, but I hear that yeah, actually I don't know anything, so
don't talk to us about
yeah, I'll let
Project.
you know if it's going to be at a place I'm going to be at. But it's a beautiful book and I highly recommend it. It's got some great artists in there. Okay, we're gonna go in with the gouache.
Alright, you're about to see some live gouaching.
Yeah.
So get your notepads out. I think you're like slightly off frame where you've been gouaching there.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. For this, I generally would rather have a clean glass of water. I'm just kind of reusing my ink, but it should be okay. Alright, let's hope I don't totally screw this up. It's the problem with this gouache is it's not super opaque, so I'm gonna have to do a couple rounds. Man, yeah, I should have just gone in and done all the lines white in the first place. It's tricky when you do a character that's all black like this.
We got coming in from Mad Salty Chips. Shaggy, are you still filming stuff? Did you hear about film cameras not being produced anymore? Yes, I did.
What?
That's just the way of the world, man. Like Polaroids and stuff, though. I think people still make Polaroids because they got that nice nostalgia value. So as it goes, I forget. Right now there's only really 3 major companies that are producing physical film cameras in this era of digital, and they've made their last film cameras, and that's about it. And Creative Cow had a big article on death of film. It just means, film cameras are going to be harder to come by because there's only so many of them existing. B, so film itself is going to be hard to come by, and C, everyone's using digital anyway.
No.
Not everyone, but like there's going to be purists, but like... Bottom line, I've never actually used physical film before because I started off everything I did in iMovie. Like way back in the day, for grade school and high school, I shot on like mini VHS tapes on this JVC camera that just fell apart after a while. The color started bleeding, got you that nice retro video look. But I was happy to go straight to digital. Like I wasn't really a film student. I was more of just like a short video project kind of guy. so I have no allegiance to film. It has different looks. It's sad that it goes, but I never used it myself, so I don't really have any say on, like, I miss those nights of watching the film and hopefully I didn't ruin it, and then physically cutting it with the scissors and stuff, because I love my digital editing.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, if you've ever done reel-to-reel for videotape editing, where you go...
Oh my goodness.
And if you want music to play at the right time, you have to have your cassette tape ready at the exact second, and then hit play, and hopefully the time that you pressed play wasn't too long.
That actually sounds really obnoxious.
Yeah, it was a horrible process, so I'm very happy for non-linear
Boo,
editing.
film!
No, it will be missed, but, like, truth be told, it's just, it's going to be a lot harder to shoot on film. Because, like, you're going to need people who still develop film. You're going to need people who still make film. And, like, I don't know, they're, like, made out of, like, gravy and animal parts or something like that. I forget. Film's made of some stuff. I forget. I didn't learn that part. Solvents and things.
Baby seals.
I hope not.
It's terrible.
Bones of something. But yeah, that's interesting. But like a lot of studios are, it's actually really interesting what a lot of filmmakers are doing for more guerrilla style filming, wherein they don't want to spend the money or even get permits to film in like major cities, like blocking off
you
New
can
York.
just get those Nikon.
You get a DSLR like
things.
a Canon or Nikon, you know, 7D or 5D Mark II or whatever, and you can just run around and film your actor, and no one will look at you because tourists carry around these cameras. No one gives a care. But if you have a video camera, a film camera, everyone's like looking in the lens, jumping in the background, waving and stuff. And in some cases, even like a friend of mine, I don't know if this was before or after he got a lens protector, but like some guy came up and he was like, "Hey, want some pizza?" And he put it in the lens.
Oh, damn it.
During a shoot. And like getting the smudge off the lens is hard enough, let alone greasy pepperoni. So, you know, making films has changed, and the mediums of making anything has always been evolving. And the bottom line is the end product. You know, how good is it going to look?
Yeah.
How good is the story? You know, as long as there's no glaring errors, you know, let's go digital. Why not?
I very much agree.
Yeah, it'll look different in the end. Like people are always trying to replicate the traditional film look. Sometimes digital looks too clean. If you grew up in a, you know, any era before digital, film was comfortable to us because we were used to that kind of jittery look. But then once digital came out, it's like sometimes it was kind of hard to look because it was like too crisp, it was too perfect. You know,
Oh yeah, like the news broadcasters where it was like
more
real than.
Like that happened in news when cameras switched to HD. It got way too real, and so
you
saw every pore in an actress or a news broadcaster's face.
Actually,
so makeup companies, the makeup department had to learn a new technique of applying TV makeup. That's not just about stopping lights from blowing people's faces out and being too bright, but so you don't see every hole in their nose and their face.
That kind of reminds me when we went to see the new Star Trek in the Omnimax theater.
Oh yeah. We saw the new Star Trek movie at the Science Center, which has a giant, you know, one of those like Cinesphere
it's a
dome that literally the space battles was me looking this way is the Enterprise, and me looking over there is the other ship. But apply that to talking scenes.
Suddenly you're in that captain's face.
Where Kirk is right in the middle of the screen. Blah.
And I mean, Chris Pine's a really pretty dude, but...
Thank God he is. Let's put it that way.
Some of those other guys...
Those close-up shots. Oh my God.
It's like, am I looking at the alien? Or... Yeah, no, it was good. It was fun. But I do remember there's that one scene where Kirk is driving his motorcycle across the planes, and we're just
like
you twist your neck.
In defense of film, I am Dan Williams. Right, developing real film is so much fun, though. Fumbling around the darkroom with caustic solvents is an experience. Yes, it is. I've done a photography course back in high school. My favorite part was spinning around the little door that keeps the light out. Because I'd just be like, woo! Of course, that doesn't really defend any points about making film. But it was also smell the chemicals in there. But yeah, like I've never developed an actual film reel. Like I don't know if you just dump the whole thing in a bucket or if you're like processing each frame one at a time. Like I don't know, maybe you dump the whole thing. This was also the case with film back in the day. You know, you're carrying around a big film reel and you got to get through customs, and they're like, open up the case, and you're like, this stuff's undeveloped. You're like, open it up. You're like,
jerks.
So you can't fly with your film.
That's awful.
Nowadays, you just have it on a little USB stick. Like the dude who edited Toy Story 3 was doing it on like Avid on his laptop on an airplane. So some guy's like watching Toy Story before it's made, like beside him. He's like, stop looking. And he's like trying to cut the film together.
He's back in coach.
He's in between like a sleeping guy and
stuck by the bathroom trying
some
to
kid. And he's like cutting together Toy Story. Meanwhile, Cars 1 is playing on the screen.
I think they give you first class for that.
The private, or like what, the private Pixar
Lester's like, no. We gotta save money.
We need to save money on these films.
You're going in under the plane.
You're going coach.
You're going with
You're going coach, Brad. Don't cross me. Yeah, that'd be fun. I haven't done that yet. This like panicky, oh god, the premiere's in 3 hours. Got it. Well, I've done that. Editing,
you've done that.
But I haven't done it for like a respectable company.
Yeah, well, you've gone in for talks at conventions where you were still editing it.
Yeah.
And we were like, we gotta get in the car because we have to drive to the con now.
That was the last year I did the amateur voice acting experience at Anime North, and I was buying cakes.
I get stressed out for you.
I was like, I want cakes. I was like, guys, you gotta buy 5 cakes before the con. So get in the van. We need
Never
cake.
mind that they're all like expired by a day.
No, but they're good though. And the worst part is though, we put all the cakes outside at the table while we're cleaning up. I get out there, no cake left.
Yeah, everybody took care of them.
Because
okay, no, they weren't expired. That would be
savage
but they were the day of.
ate my cakes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Black
I got
cherry.
like a little bit of icing. No.
Yeah, I think it was a good panel.
I think the best year of the panel was year 4. I think because we had some really good volunteers and it was just really funny. Speaking of really funny, let's see if I bring this up.
Segue?
Let's see. I'm Dan Williams. Writes, had similar experience watching Star Trek. Front row, neck hurt so much afterwards. You know what? We went to Star Trek opening night, and we didn't line up or nothing. We just kind of showed up. We got, you know, the row where it's the widest row in the theater because that's like where everyone walks by. It's not like the front rows where like the neck is back. We got that row center.
Well, the thing
to watch
is
Star Trek, which
like,
is the best seat in the house.
People
for
like
me.
being in the back a lot. So.
I don't like the back because
we grew up being stuck in first, third row.
No, yeah, Dad would love row 3.
Yeah,
because you love being in the movie.
Yeah, It is a real multi-dimensional experience when you go see a movie with our dad. But so that's what I'm used to. So all my friends want to sit in the back, and I'm used to just being right in the movie.
I balanced out for the middle row because A, you get the bars, so you can put your feet on.
You do your neck stretches, you get ready.
And B, it's like there's no one sitting in front of you because there's a row for walking.
Yeah.
And like wheelchairs here, and then
I think I'm done.
A whole row. Okay, claims to be done. Let's take a look. See.
We're done.
We didn't watch the washing process.
How this was supposed to be an inking tutorial.
We're talking about Star Trek.
Looking at your face for an hour. There's Yumi for Ashley. There we go. I'm just going to sign my name and then we're done.
All right.
But I remember when we went to see the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace, we were third far right. First right. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is coming back in 3D, guys. So
is it? Are you guys excited for that?
You guys excited?
Yeah.
It's like the disappointment is just popping out of the screen.
Yeah. 3D. Just slapping you in the face.
We got a few more tweets before we're wrapping up here. So the cake was a lie.
The cake was not a lie.
Well, for me it was.
Okay, it was a lie for him.
Jerks.
For the audience, the cake was very much
Chris, the host, writes, would you like vanilla cake? Are you outside our door right now?
I know.
That's the most important question.
Yeah, I love vanilla cake. Are you joking?
We should get cake after this.
We should go get cake.
Except what time is it? I got my laundry.
Oh, you know what? The corner store probably has cake. No, has pie.
Okay. Helen, if you're still watching, can you get my laundry before 9:30? Because I think they're going to, like, close and steal my clothes. Yeah.
They're going to close.
Here's the cake tweet. Would you like vanilla cake?
I love vanilla cake.
Yeah, I think we all would. Vanilla cake's good.
You know what? Vanilla cupcakes. We can go get some mini cupcakes
we
from
could
Shoppers
do
Drug
that,
Mart.
and then we don't have to cut a cake.
Yeah.
We got a few more tweets because it's 8:55. Laundry supposedly closes at 9:30.
And then we're going to go get some cupcakes.
Chris, the host, writes, Nick, I am the fly, remember? I don't want you touching my cake. We know where you've been.
No.
Let's take a look at this final drawing.
I just got to figure out where to sign my name.
Let's not look at that.
Well, it's tricky. I remember, yeah.
Because you have, like, a name.
Well, because the thing is...
I do, like, bottom right corner then.
Because
you don't want to... If you... Like, let's look at a balancing thing. Because if you put in the left corner, then people are looking all over the damn place. If you put in the bottom right,
I put it under Yumi,
then you lead from dog to Yumi to you.
But I usually like hiding it in the dog.
Write it on its tail. No one will see.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm not quite sure. This is tricky. Because I figure it's like the drawing itself is your signature, but yeah.
Put it in the eye. A twinkle in the dog's eye is your signature.
Yeah. Here, let's get off of me while I figure this. You know what, I'm just going to put it...
You're
this
like
is so
frame.
so exciting with the analog. You just don't know.
Yeah, it's just like film. You have no idea
what?
what's going to go wrong.
What's going here? What's happening?
Oh, now you do it. And
Done.
So let's see the final. Rotate it so everyone can see the final. All right. That's a commission.
For Ashley Fair.
For Ashley Fair's
There's
commission.
your dog.
To be sent to you with a copy of Silly Kingdom.
Yep.
Coming soon to your abode.
We're gonna let this dry.
If you have yet to, if you're in one of the groups of the 20s up for Silly Kingdom perks and such, and you move because school seasons come and go, do email us at sillykingdomcomic@gmail.com. Tell us your new address. Also tell us your old address if you want, just so we can compare and be like, oh, this is that guy. To make sure you get it. Otherwise, it will be going to a stranger's home. And though I like bringing joy to all the strangers in the world, I would like to give you the comic that you deserve.
Yes.
We got one more tweet before we get out of here. Below the back pause. Well, it's too late for that.
Below. Oh! Where were you?
2 minutes ago. It's too late.
This is ruined.
Start it again. Get that gouache.
Yeah. Now we're good.
Alright, I think that's about it for this episode of Shanahannigan's Live. Thanks for joining us. We'll be online live every Wednesday, supposedly, hopefully.
Hopefully, well,
7:30-ish.
Our UK watchers have asked if we could do it a bit earlier. But
Earlier? Or later?
Earlier.
Oh, because it's like 4 in the morning for them right now.
Yeah. What time is it for you, UK?
Let's just do an episode every hour and we'll just repeat everything we did.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing. You guys can watch this later, too.
Yeah, it's saved. That's why
so
we're no
too.
longer going to watch our own commercial breaks. Because we used to be like, oh, commercial, and then we sit there for like a minute. But then when you watch back the recorded episode, it's like, idiots. What are they doing?
Yeah.
For more on Silly Kingdom, one more time, let's just pump
Bring up the website.
site. Oh, someone's trying to get a tweet in before we end the show. 2 in the morning for Daniel Williams.
2 a.m. Thank you for staying up with us, Daniel Williams.
Thank you for potting. Keeping it going. Sorry, let me just back up this, that, and we're going to and ha. Alright. Well, this is the buying stuff site. I don't know where the other site went.
It's a...
There you go.
Yeah.
So you want to go to sillykingdom-comic.blogspot.com. If you want to learn more about the book, read the sample pages, see some deliciously delightful fan art.
Yes.
Submit your own fan art if you want to submit anything you can. Yeah, because we
Please
will.
do.
If you submit fan art, we will.
It will be
include
going up on
it
the
in
site.
things.
Yeah.
If you want to contact us, write to sillykingdomcomic@gmail.com. You can also follow our Twitters at Katie Shy for Katie, at Shaggy Shan for me. All our more to the second updates go there, so that's reliable and
more
fun.
instant stuff.
And you can learn about what we're eating.
Yeah.
Vanilla cake or cupcake.
Or cupcakes.
You can vote.
That's gonna be
I think
sweet.
that's about everything. And so if you're in Toronto, Zombie Walk coming up on Saturday, then Sunday, check out that
Canzine.
Canzine.
Yes.
Should be a time.
We don't know where it is exactly, but
It's north on Bathurst.
yeah, you can probably Google it or whatever you're using.
Speaking of Googling, you guys can Google the hell out of here because that's the end of the show.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See you next time.
Ciao.